Greetings, my scattered brothers and sisters in the Lord. Trust you know the Lord is with you wherever you find yourself scattered today, and that you know that His presence with you is more than enough for whatever you might face today. Well, today's my last day in Michigan this time round. Had to get out here on the trail one more time. We are looking at 2 Kings chapter 5, the story of Naaman the Syrian, and he is about to be healed. So he has leprosy. And you'll remember that his servant girl, who is an Israelite, actually she's the servant girl of his wife, she was taken captive by some raiders, and she is saying that if my master would go see the prophet in Israel, he could be cured. And so they listened to her, and the king sends a present and everything to the king of Israel, the king of Naaman's people, king of Syria, and he goes and gives the present and the letter saying that, heal Naaman. And the king tears his robes, and am I in the place of God to give life? And I can't do that. And Elisha hears about it. And Elisha says, send him to me, and so that they'll know that there is a prophet in Israel. And so Naaman gets the message, and he goes to where Elisha lives, and he's got his horses, his chariots, all of his gifts that he has brought. And Elisha doesn't even come outside to meet him. He just hears that he's outside. And Elisha sends word out to him, go bathe 7 times in the Jordan River and you'll be cleansed of your leprosy. And Naaman hears this and he's really frustrated. Frustrated that Elisha hasn't come out to see him. Frustrated that Elisha hasn't done what he thought he should do in terms of waving his hand over him and praying over him. Naaman had expectations in terms of how Elisha should heal him. And Elisha didn't meet those expectations. Elisha didn't even come out to meet him. Just sent word out, go bathe 7 times in the Jordan River. Naaman isn't going to do it. He's ready to just pack it up and go back home. He's thinking, I got rivers better than the Jordan River back in my country. And so bathing in the Jordan is going to somehow cleanse me of my leprosy. Naaman's servants are pretty wise. And they tell Naaman, look, if he would have asked you to do a hard thing, you probably would have tried to do it. He's just asking you to do an easy thing. And it's a great thing that you just go bathe and you'll be cleansed. Naaman, to his credit, once again, listens to his servants. And so he goes and he dips himself and bathes in the Jordan River 7 times, and he comes up out of the water and he is cleansed of his leprosy. Now there's 2 or 3 things I want us to think about with this. So first of all, notice that twice now Naaman has listened to his servants, that his servants know. The Israelite girl, she knew. His servants know. He's not asking you to do a hard thing. And so Naaman is humble enough to listen to his servants. But he's also kind of proud in terms of where he's from and the rivers there, and that they're better than the rivers in, the Jordan River. And so he has to humble himself to realize, wait a minute, if I want to be cleansed, I probably ought to bathe in this river. That those rivers at home, they didn't do it. And I think, there's a lot of good rivers, that we can think about. But there's really only one, river of life. There's really only one that gives life. That there are a lot of good things out there. There are a lot of good choices we can make. I've got a lot of good rivers we can kind of travel on. And we might think of a career path. We might think of a relationship. We might think of any number of things. That they're good. But ultimately, they're not life-giving. That there is really only one who gives life. And that's Christ Jesus. And we could talk about, he's healed by the Jordan River. But really what it boiled down to was, would he trust the word that came to him from Elisha? Would he trust enough to obey? And I think for us, oftentimes that's what it comes down to. Do we trust Jesus enough to listen to him and to obey? And to recognize that life comes from him. A lot of rivers out there. A lot of good things out there. We talk about avoiding bad things, but there are good things out there too that really just don't give life. Jesus is the one who gives life. Do we trust him enough to obey? Well, maybe just one more quick thought. Sometimes something like this is referred to as the scandal of particularity. Particular river that he needed to bathe in, but really it's a particular word that he needed to listen to. You can find a lot of good words, you can find a lot of good advice, you can find a lot of good people, but it's the word of the Lord who gives life. Jesus gives life. And so wherever you find yourself scattered today, trust him, obey him, and discover that he is the one who gives life. God bless. Have a great day.